Well, let's go to the next step now. And that is a few more letters. We've been talking about the letters and the connection of the letters. So let's introduce some more of the letters. I want to go to the forest now and talk about the trees in the forest. We've been out to the beach. We've talked about the pot-bellied family, and now we want to go to the forest and look at some trees and some of the things that we find out there. Well, that's a tree, or that's a stem, or that's something really big. It's not a little short thing, it's a big one, and that's called a leaf. Now, I know that a leaf looks kind of like that, but this is a leaf, and it doesn't have any leaves on it. Maybe just a little small one off to the side. So we're going to give it a little small leaf off to the side like that. There's its little leaf right there. A leaf. See it? The little leaf. So this is where we get the A sound, but we can get a oo sound from it. We can get an E sound from it. We're going to go on now, and I'm going to give you a couple more of these trees out in the forest. This one right here, look at what it's got down at the bottom of the tree. You see that? Now, how do you like that? It's kind of a tall tree. Let's say that. Say, fall, not ta. We already had ta. You remember ta had 2 dots. This is tall. Tall, tall, not tall. Don't say the L on it, but say tall. Let me hear you say it. You didn't say it very loud. I said it louder than you did. Let's say tall. There you go. All right. That's tall. Now we're going to, you know what we did a while ago? We had some that were similar to the others, right? When we did the potbelly family, we're going to do it again. We're going to come up with that again. Look at there. Only we're going to put a dot right there. That was ah, and that's tall. And what is that going to be? That's the. Now this th is a real heavy TH sound. The other one we had was 3 dots. You remember the 3 dots? That was th, lightweight, like with and 3. But this one is like this, that, these, and those. This is that, and that is this. So give it a heavy TH sound right there, and a nice daw sound over here, and a ah sound over here. This is ah. Could be ooh, and it could be E, and it could be silent. We're going to come into that a little later, but right now that's alif, ba, and va. I don't want to put a dot here, it'll confuse you. Ba and va, the. Let me hear that. The, heavy duty. Huh? That's pretty good. All right. Now let's get another one going here. Now there's another big one out here, and just go like this. Now he doesn't have the little circle over to the side. He's got just that one hook over here. See that? That, it looks a lot like what? If we did it this way, what would it be in English? That'd be an L, wouldn't it? Well, guess what? In Arabic, that's a lam. The sound of L in Arabic comes from this letter, which is the exact opposite of the English letter L, and this is called lam. Lam. We mentioned it a little while ago in another segment when we made the connection between the Ain, the Lam, and the Fat Ya. We found out that the Ya actually came in two families. He was in the stem family, you know, on the stems or the waves coming out of the ocean. But now we found out he's also a pot-bellied guy, and this was Ah, La, Ya. Ah, La, Ya. And I'm going to tell you about these things a little bit later on too. But that was just to show you how what happens when these letters, which used to have the big pot bellies, what happens whenever they're going to be in like this. Now this will be a, lay, he. For instance, alehi. We're going to talk about it later. Don't worry about it. I'm just showing you what happens when they're in a word and they connect to each other. So now we got a, ta, tha, and lam. Guess what? We got another one. And it's not exactly like this one. This is a rounded hook coming down. This is more squared off at the bottom, and it gets something like this. Gets a little like that, like Superman. You put a little S in there. And guess what it is? This is a K sound, like the letter K. In English, say K. Now say calf. Let me hear you. Calf, calf. Not like the calf of your leg. This is just K-A-F. Calf, calf. Got it? All right, so write these down. Take a minute or two. Then we'll give you some time at the end of this segment. You can go back over all of this. And while you're doing that, I'm going to put some more up here and talk about the next series. Next one I want to show you is what happens when we have some circles. I'm going to have some circles now. This is what's coming now. You remember I showed you the stems on the ocean. We had those little waves that looked like this. We talked about the trees. Now we want to go to the circles. Now what is the circles? What am I talking about there? Well, we're going to do them individually before we put them all together and let you see it. The first one is an amazing letter. It's so amazing, it's called wow. That's wow. And of course it represents the W in the English language. We usually represent it with English letters, W-A-W. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's do the next one. And by the way, this guy right here is really stubborn. He's amazing, and I'm going to tell you what happens. In other letters, as I told you, they'll lose their tail, or they'll lose that continuation of the curl when you connect them. But this guy is so amazing that he does not lose it. Therefore, if you had a word that came like, for instance, like this, 2 dots below, like that, yeah, wow, and then look at this. Now, what happens here, he didn't connect, but this is still one word. And what's the word? Well, you won't know till I show you the next letter. The next letter is going to be this, with a dot over it. Now the wow hangs down like this, but this one kind of comes around a little bit more like a circle and has a dot over it. That's called fa. Fa. Do, re, mi, fa. So there you have it. Fa. There's what he looks like in Arabic. And so that's fa. Now fa is not an amazing letter, so he will connect to other letters that come up. There's no problem with him. But this guy won't do that. And he has a sound sometimes like ooh, ooh. He has a U sound sometimes. Wow. It's an amazing letter. I told you that. He can sound like a U sometimes. Sometimes he sounds like a W. Wah, wah, wah. But sometimes he sounds like ooh, ooh, ooh. And now watch what's going to happen. This is ya. Remember that because we had 2 dots below. You remember that's ya. Okay? And this is now ooh. So it's pronounced you, you. And then sa, there's the 3 dots. The 3 stems that are up here like this, without dots, actually. So that's sa, pronounced like a S. And this is fa. This comes up to be Yusuf. Yusuf. And that's my name. That's how you write Yusuf in Arabic. Ya, wow, sin, and fa. Ya, wow, sin, fa. Yusuf. Pretty cool, huh? There's some more of those that are in the circle family, and I want to show those to you. So I'm going to erase this here, okay? And then I'm going to put those other circles up. But before I do, I'm going to put the fa back over here for you so you won't lose that. We don't want to forget about our... We got our amazing wow, and now we've got our fa. Now watch this next letter. Similar to the fa, only it's got 2 dots. This is called what? I want to put the fa back here so you won't forget. What is this? This is qa, qa, qa. And you catch in the back of your throat with this one. Qa. Can you make a click in the back of your throat like that with your tongue? Move your tongue and go. Because that's it. Qaf, qaf. So we use a Q in English, an A and then an F, and that's the name of this letter. Qaf, 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 qaf. Okay, so this is qaf. Don't confuse it with calf. This is regular calf. This is a K. This is a qaf, like that. Okay? So we got that one right there. Now what's the next one that's round like this? We have another one. And it's a little bit amazing, but not as amazing as the wow. It's got, there we go. Kind of looks like hair sticking out on either side, doesn't it? This is a meme. Ma. Kind of reminds you when you see hair sticking out, like you might think of your mom, you know, with her long hair or something. So that's ma, ma. And in English we say mama. And in Arabic it's So we are using the sound for our moms, aren't we? Mama, ummi, mommy. Okay, that's ummi and mommy. It means the same thing. My mother and mama. Okay, so this is one way, but I said it's a little bit amazing because it can look like that, and it can look like this too. Because that's when it comes at the end of a word. It has a nice little, some long hair coming down like that. It's pretty, isn't it? Now, this gives us the circles or the loops that we were showing a while ago. The wow, the amazing guy over here that doesn't want to, he doesn't actually want to shake hands with anybody on his left side, I guess. But anyway, he doesn't connect, so he always keeps that down. This one, the fa, when he is connected, he'll keep on going. So let's write them so you can see what happens. That's what happens with a wow. Even if you connect it, the fa would continue, and so would this one, and so will this one. So that's wow, and this one is fa, and this is qa, and this is, you don't put any dots here, that's ma. Wow, fa, qa, and meme. There you go. That's what they look like. And if meme was connected to something else, for instance, let's connect it to a ta like this. There we are. And now I put two tas together. I want to show you something real quick before we forget about it. That's ta. Ta. Remember I told you smile when you say that. And where I come from they say smile when you say that, neighbor. Ta. Okay, but this one is the one that's so tall. You remember? So this is to. To. And this is ta. Ta. And to. That's the difference between these two. So that's a little bit of review on that, a little bit of the connection, how you put it together, and then look back over the whole thing again one time, and we'll wrap up this segment by just mentioning to you that we went through the family in the forest, and we talked about them. Then we talked about the circles and how that works, and then we made some connections here, give you time to go over it, write it down, and then when you're ready, come on back, we'll be here.